wanted to kind of pick up where I left off the other day when I was talking about relationships and the age difference. Thanks to a lot of you who actually wrote me about your experiences. Some sent me messengers, and that's okay on Facebook if you want to. But if you want to share it with all of us, that's all right too. But anyway, today's observation is about something else. There was this songstress. Her name is Millie Jackson. I'm sure if you're of a certain age group, you know who I'm talking about. Millie would bring it straight. You know, she was the queen of raunch when it came to most of her songs were about complications of dating. Being the outside woman, being the inside woman, and then there was this great song, Woman to Woman. I loved it. I absolutely loved Woman to Woman. Anyway, I want to talk about being the outside woman. Now, that I can really relate to. I don't know how to put comments down, but I'm going to try to do that. I don't know what to do. But, this is all a learning curve, right? So, anyway, yeah, here we go. So, Woman to Woman, where she talks about this is my man. I pay for him to be my man, okay? I love him that much. I sacrifice. I do this, that, and the other. So, you need to get out the way. So, in this case, I want to talk about women who, these people are something else. Why don't y'all save your comments for later or something? I'm going to figure out how to do it, people. They keep messing with me, but I'm going to figure this out. So, I want to talk about the outside woman. And if any of you out there are outside women, I want you to know this. Very rarely do you become the woman. Okay? A lot of women, I tell you, these people there is like, okay, I'm going to learn how to do this, folks. Let's see if we can hide the comments. How do you do that? Oh, I think I found the way. All right. So now I'm getting multiple me's. Okay. Well, you can still hear my voice, and that's the main thing. Women have a tendency to want to be involved with married men because Mr. Right hasn't come along. And I understand that. And it's very heartbreaking to know that you think he's the perfect man for you. You start, you don't want to make no demands, of course, because you'd rather be with somebody than be single, right? So you don't want to make demands on that relationship. Whitney Houston's breakout album, she had a song on there. I'm going to try to sing it. Now, don't rate me on my singing ability because I really don't have it. I have a speaking voice, not a singing voice. She said, a few stolen moments is all that we share. You heard what she said? A few stolen moments is all that she shares. All right? But she looks forward to those stolen moments. And trust me, they are stolen. He's on his way to the hardware store, or he got off late, or he was at the library. You're an excuse. All right? So keep that in mind. And holidays, either you see him before the holiday or you're going to see him after the holiday. But you're not going to see him during the holiday. It's not going to happen. All right? Let's love to have these comments, but folks, you're getting in the way of what I'm feeling, like Jill Scott said. If you can hold your comments off for a little while, that would be great. But not right now, okay? So you get caught up in waiting for him to come by. Okay, he said he was going to come by at 9:30. That's too late to go to dinner. It might be all right to go get a quick drink at a bar or something, but by that time, the bar is not serving food anymore. So you do get the stolen moments, but you're not getting this full time. Holiday come, oh yeah, baby, I'm going to come over afterwards. Or it could be a her. I'll come over afterwards. And then you don't see them. They give you some excuse. Well, it ran late. I got my kids, and you know how my wife can be. Like, really, you know how his wife can be? Are you living in the house with them? No, you're not. So he's going to lie to you. He's going to tell you a lot of things. Now, when the wife finds out about you, okay, it could go either way. In the case of one of my relatives, she came up lucky. She got the man, but he never married her, but she got the man. Okay? But a lot of cases, they're not leaving one piece of pee, y'all know what I'm talking about, for another piece of pee. Because they all feel the same, according to what I've been told. And then some say, no, that's not true. But nevertheless, he's not really going to step out and leave that for you. Now, he might leave her. Oh, yeah. I've known of those situations too, where he's actually left her. But the woman who was on the side piece lady, no. He'll go get somebody else. I had a tragic situation happen to one of my friends. And because of my own personal experiences, I knew what was going to happen to her. And I told her so. He was married and very married. And here she is going and babysitting so she can be in the house. I was like, you have got to be out of your damn mind. This man is not leaving his wife for you. It ain't going to happen. And it didn't. And she was really hurt. And it was very bad for her. But that's the life she chose. She chose to do this when she didn't have to. But she was babysitting for the man. Now that's bold. So she's up in the house. She's getting an idea of what's going on. But, she's the babysitter. So lo and behold, the babysitter becomes pregnant. Wife finds out. But he was so cold-blooded. He goes and marries some other woman. Now that's cold. You are with the babysitter. You get her pregnant. But you go and marry somebody else. That's what happens, ladies. So if you want to date a married man, I think it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. And if he makes you feel good because you've been on the dating sites and you ain't met nobody, okay, I get it. Because it's a jungle. That's a whole nother story I'll talk about because I have personal experience with that. But if you're involved with a married significant other person and they've got family and a woman in their lives, they've been married for 10 years, la, 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 la. Don't believe the hype. He's not leaving or she's not leaving that nest unless absolutely forced to. And it won't be because of you that they left. And naturally, you want it to be because of you. You want to be able to say, I was such a powerful person that I drew them away from those circumstances that they'd been in. No, it doesn't happen that way. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. It does not happen that way. So if you want to have it for fun until you meet a decent guy, have at it. We living in what, 2023. Years ago, no, that wouldn't even been talked about, let alone approved of. But who wants to be lonely all the time, right? So if you meet somebody and they're kind of fun, but they got all this baggage, remember they're carrying a lot of baggage. And you have to ask yourself, do I want a suitcase full of this crap? Because when it comes to those holidays, you are not going to be the first thing on the list. And if you are, he's on his run to the store. So he stopped by to see you. But when it's time to sit down at the dinner table with everybody, you're not going to be there. So I wanted to just follow up with you all and not leave you hanging, like, well, she talked about that other story. Well, what about this? And for all of you who were open enough to share with us and leave it the comments where other people can read, I applaud you because that took a lot from you to do that and to share it like so publicly. Thank you so much for all of your support and all of the things that you all have been saying to me to keep me going. Even the negative comments, I always like you all too because you keep me on my toes. And in this world of social media, you have to be on your toes. And I'm also going to be talking, my platform is called Felices Closet for a reason, because I have a lot of things in it that I would like to share with you. So I'm going to just kind of give a comment a little bit. Um, Let me see what it says here. That okay. I'm going to let's get back to this dating thing again, dating the married person or the otherwise committed individual. Because now we live in a society that's more open towards gay couples too. And I'm sure this goes on with them as well. They're like, they got a committed other, and then they want to hide you in the corner, you know. And you're waiting, you're trying to understand it, but you're crying a lot. Anybody in these situations has nothing to do with sexual preference, but we're talking about the topic itself, the actions themselves. And it's terrible when you're sitting there crying, and I wonder why. And then some people tell you, well, girls, because you're dating a married man, or well, guy, you're dating a married woman or otherwise committed woman. That's why you're not going to meet anybody. That's a bunch of crap too. There's not that many people left to go around, even though there's a lot of people, but the person for you might not be out there right now. So who wants to sit home and eating bonbons all the time, right? Now, let's be real about it. Who wants to really do that? If you're lonely, who wants to really sit around and be lonely? Some go out with your girlfriends, okay, or go out with your guy friends, okay, but then there's that primal urge in you to mate with somebody. So you fall into these traps thinking that maybe one day their wife will die or their husband will die and they'll be with me. And sometimes you might get lucky, but usually you don't. And then you might be dealing with a man who's older, okay, older, and you're thinking, well, his wife is probably going to die and he's going to pick me. Well, I was just talking to a friend last night about that. And guess what? The man picked up after the wife died. He broke up with the girlfriend. Ain't that something? And she just knew she was going to be the next in line. But the age difference, she's 54 and he's 82. Now, when they met, it was all good and gravy. But you see what I mean? So she really wasn't thinking. She was just thinking about, well, when the wife dies, I'll be able to come in and fill in, and I'll be the woman. And it didn't go that way. And it might not go that way in a lot of cases. But talk amongst your friends. Maybe you know somebody who got lucky. And if y'all did get lucky, please share it with us. If you don't want to do it here, which I can understand, go over to my Facebook page and send it through Messenger. I would love to hear the different experiences. But from what I know, if you're the chick on the side and they've invested a lot in those relationships, they're not going to put that kind of investment in you. Not unless it's a very, very, very serious circumstance. And that would be, we're going to talk about relationships again. But I just wanted to, bring you all up to date with yet another scenario. And before I go, I watched yesterday's live with these four people. I'm like, gee, they took a lot of time to do that. Hopefully, they did, one of them did the little sneak in subliminal messages about the Cash App and the star thing, They kind of slid it in like greasy a greasy preacher, who's out to flim flam you from the first place. But I was just amazed at how other people who are supposedly professionals would join in on this kind of thing when they're supposed to be coaching people's lives. So that led me to think something else. Like, oh, okay. So when this all first came about, maybe it came about because they were being coached to get in front of social media and lie. I think that's really interesting. It went on for hours. I had to take a break and go do something educational because, too much gossip is just too much. I thank you all for the opinions that you had. Some I could never fill those shoes. I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit more human than that. So yeah, I really wanted to touch on this, outside woman thing, and you calling a house, pretending to be something else when you really want to speak to them because you're lonely. Stop hugging the damn pillows. Stop eating the bonbons and popcorn and gaining all this weight. Go to the gym, work out. You probably meet Mr. Muscles. Okay? But anyway, that's just my take on it. And a lot of you have been talking about this Chaka Khan thing. I'm going to tell you the truth. I've actually met her. And when we were younger, we really did look alike. I was like, ah! We smiled. The minute we smiled, we had the same smile. Same smile. But her head is a lot bigger than mine. So that big hair, she needs it. And then we ran into each other out here in LA. And that was funny too. She's one of my greatest singers. Um, I was introduced to her when I worked at this place. It was a medical facility. And these girls came in. I had my hair all wild one day, and they said, "You look like Chaka Khan." I'm like, "Who's that?" Didn't even know the woman. And a friend of mine by the name of Roxanne Glover, if you're out there, hi, get in touch with me. She said, you kind of do. So we went to the music store and got looked at the album, and it was a black and white with her on the cover wearing a long dress, and her hair was wild. And I was like, oh my God, she did look like me. Well, we're a year apart, so she's older than I am, so I did look like her. So then I became, you couldn't tell me I wasn't Chaka Khan. Can't sing a note like her, but thought I could anyway. So uh, I used to terrorize my daughter with it. In order for her to go outside sometimes, she had to sing background. So maybe that's the reason she's mad at me. I don't know. But one of my favorite songs was, of course, I'm Every Woman. I mean, the video that they did, I was like, I could have done that video and it would have been natural. I've got this hair, another hair. When I was putting this hair on today, I was laughing. I was like, all these different hairs that I wear, I have a different face. Amazing. Still got the Chinese eyes though. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of share that. And I'll end it with a little bit of a song of hers. Hold on a minute. Y'all ready? I'm every woman. It's all in me. Anything you want done, baby. Bye. I don't know how to turn it off, people. Oh boy. I'm still on. Okay, bye.